Nah, I tried to be nice. I tried to let him live. It's over now. Once ATYR drops, I don't know, I might be up 100%. More tears, more tears. And we can make some inquiries with some of the securities people in India, see what you're really all about. Call center capital management. Imagine having a fund in India. If I'm fighting with somebody on the internet, I go straight to that homonym. Consequences will never be the same. I mean, listen, if you're really uninformed and you try to insult somebody, I mean, at least be somebody of consequence. If Druckenmiller says, hey, Martin, I don't like the way you trade, I'd say, okay, man, you know, you're the GOAT. But some guy from Goldman Sachs Bangalore is telling me how I trade. My man, what's the most amount of money you've ever made in your whole life? I just don't like taking insults from beginners. It's like very, like, you got to be kidding me. I mean, you've never done anything in your life that would make you like even be able to have an opinion on something, right? Like that's what I don't think like this guy understands. Like Goldman Sachs India, junior analyst at a tiny hedge fund that nobody's ever heard of, and then you worked at Bain. You worked for Soros or something, I'd say, okay, maybe this guy is real. And I would call up my sources. I would call people up and say, you heard of this guy? Yeah, is he real? Okay. But, you know, nobody like that would do that because people know who I am on the street. People know what's up. And people are also smart enough not to make an enemy. Dubai, India? Where are the funds out there? Goldman Sachs, London? Man, you from Bangalore. Stop playing. Bain PE? Says you're a consultant, buddy. Chicago? Ain't no long shorts in Chicago, man. You work for a $200 million hedge fund with 3 people. Nobody's ever heard of. Yo, you're an analyst. Stop it. This delusion of grandeur, dude. You're nobody. There's no Wall Street on India. Goldman, Bangalore. What are you doing? Shuffling papers? When I was 16, Kramer was a big hedge fund at the time. He was one of the biggest hedge funds. Then I worked at a Tiger Cub. I worked at a fund with 2 people, dude, with no capital. Kramer made 22% a year net. Aditya, I know one of the founders of Jane Street. And I know the guys who did that exact trade in India. I just don't think you understand how small you are in the world. Like you're like a little mosquito. Oh, it's a huge market, I'm sure. All the big hedge funds are out there. Plus, you're on the sell side, dude. You're a Goldman. You're not whipping money around. You're not Jane Street. Get out of here. Stop lying. I don't know, did it? I mean, you can check out the people who invested in my latest company. Do you have any investors? How about my 18 colleagues? My 𝗔𝗊 co-founder. Who's your co-founder? Jane Street's banned from India. But trust me, I'm very close to that situation. Don't worry about that situation. It has nothing to do with you. In Dubai now, trying to get that Arab money. All those big hedge funds in Dubai. Like... Hold on. Let me get a list of the world's biggest hedge funds. Let me see if any of them are in India or Dubai. Number 1, Connecticut. Is that in Dubai? Is that in India? Okay. London. New York City, Miami, London, New York City, Connecticut, New York City, San Francisco, New York City, Connecticut, London, Boston, Chicago, New York City, Connecticut, San Francisco, Chicago, New York. Where's India and Dubai? Where are they? Where else are all the big hedge funds? I don't see a single one. All New York City. There's one in Stockholm, decent sized fund. I see one in Singapore, Milwaukee, but it's like 90% New York and London. And Connecticut, which I count as New York. Oh, here's a Dallas one. Why aren't there any hedge funds in Dubai? Why aren't there any hedge funds in India? That must suck, not being around any professional investors. It's almost like you don't know what you're talking about. Guy's mad I doubled down on one trade. I'm making more money than him. Sorry, dude. It's called conviction. Try it sometimes. But like I said, don't you dare become successful. This is the problem with making enemies. They show up when you least expect it. There's a lot of Dallas hedge funds. Maverick is known to be the biggest one. Yeah, there's no Dubai hedge funds though. Opening a small office there doesn't mean. But I don't know of any investors out there. I like how he lists all the funds I'm close to. Nobody out there is running any real money, dogs. Yeah, I don't know why you'd want to be on my list. There's no upside to being somebody's enemy. Zero upside. I mean, that's why the guy hasn't succeeded in his career so far. I mean, making an enemy for no reason is that's just a stupid mistake. It's an unforced error. I don't do this stream to be insulted by somebody. You know, somebody comes here who has no experience in anything and insults me. You just started your own firm. Nobody knows anything about it. You have no employees. You have no capital. Goldman Sachs Bangalore. Jesus Christ. Tiny hedge fund junior analyst. Couldn't hack it in hedge funds? You had to go to Bain? Then how do you tell us, Aditya? You just started. We don't even know what you do. You got one employee. You can't have that much capital. You're making me mad. You're going to make everybody else mad here. I barely had a position. Okay. And then I took a huge position and I made money on the trade. What is the problem? These trades don't even count. These are basically just extremely tiny trades. I bought the stock at 36 and the company announced a terrible death of one of their patients and I sold it. It's the risk management problem. It was an unprecedented situation. It was one of the craziest events in all biotech history. Okay, it's going to happen, Aditya. It's going to happen in investing. It happens sometimes. What risk did I not manage? I took a bet. It's a long position. I could only lose as much as I invested. And I ended up on the position. What's the problem with this trade? The company came out and said, we are not going to be pulled from the market by the FDA. And literally 3-4 hours later, or the next day, the FDA pulled it from the market. It's never happened in biotech. What could I have done better? Please teach me. The company came out and said, there's no chance the drug is getting removed. I sold it. I lost 50% on the position. You telling me in biotech, there's anybody that doesn't, people lose 90% of biotech all the time. Should I have stop lost it before the death happened? I was supposed to guess that the patient was going to die? I took a position. I lost a little bit. I sold it. I bought it back. It went up. I net made money. I'm sitting on a huge gain now. No, I bought up to, I bought more. Yeah, Aditya, you don't know biotech. There was a fund that lost, one of the biggest biotech funds right now had an 80% drawdown. Again, you just don't know this because you're brand new. I know a fund that had 80% of its fund in one stock, and that stock went down 80%. It is the second or third biggest biotech hedge fund now. This is a risky sector. Listen, that's not the point. The point is, you don't come on my stream and tell me anything, especially if I don't know you. Come insult me out of nowhere. I expect that from some random idiot watching anonymous, some truck driver. You're trying to be somebody in the business world, and you're coming insulting me. Ooh. Yeah, RA Capital. Like I said, now you're learning something. Keep your mouth closed, you'll learn even more. No leverage on this trade, of course not. Listen, I wasn't happy being down either. But at the end of the day, you're sitting here talking about risk, quote unquote, risk management. Some people don't invest that way. You're not understanding. Do you know how many funds have had a 40% drawdown? All right, let's go through the list of the biggest hedge funds, see what kind of drawdowns they've had. Max drawdown. Okay. What do you think TCI's biggest drawdown ever was? Everybody thinks the guy's a great investor, right? TCI, great investor. Yes or no? Chris Hohn, one of the best of all time. He's got $65 billion in capital. Good investor or not? He's $15 billion in capital, and he's got a 60% drawdown. Well, you have to do a monthly report, Paul. Okay, Citadel, good investor? Pretty good? Greatest hedge fund of all time? Number one profit earner of all time at all hedge funds? 60% drawdown. Oh, if they only had Aditya advising them, they wouldn't have had that bad risk management. Maybe we should talk about Tiger. 60-70% drawdown. Making billions of dollars, we should have asked you first. I don't know why. He's got like a part of his brain that's broken. 50% drawdown, 60% drawdown. 0.72 at a 20% drawdown for a firm that has the best risk management, period. And by the way, there are big firms that had 99% drawdowns and never came back. Renaissance had a 60-70% drawdown. That's right. That was all in a few weeks. He could be the chief risk officer. No, it's just, it's not about being triggered by a random loser. There's a million guys like this on Wall Street. This is more about This isn't about him specifically. This is more about just in general, this kind of disrespect. Bill Ackman's got 5 positions. He's had massive drawdowns. Baker Brothers, forget it. They're in biotech. Of course they're going to have massive drawdowns. It's very hard to find funds that haven't had them. Third point, 30-40% drawdown.
No, Renaissance's drawdown wasn't during a macro event. Plus, we're in a bubble right now. There's a lot of hedge funds down 30-40% this year. There's biotech funds down 40% this year. That have $2 billion. EcoR1 is down 20% this year. You just don't know Wall Street, dude. You worked in Bangalore. Losses aren't fun, but like you gotta deal with it. I dealt with it. I'm up now. No, Renaissance was in a year where almost every fund made money. They had a 60% drawdown. It had nothing to do with it. It was a quant contagion. Why are they 30x leveraged? Captain Hindsight to the rescue. Captain Hindsight. You shouldn't have been 30x leveraged, Mr. Simons. You wouldn't have had a problem if you were only 10x leveraged. Captain Hindsight.
Anyway, closing in on up 30% here. Very exciting. You guys want to get more entertained, right? Let's kick this up a notch. We got more money in our PA than the fund you worked in. Oh, this guy stopped filing 13Fs? In 2019? His last 13F had 48 million in it? Bruh. No, bruh. So you worked for a failed fund. Why didn't your boss take your risk management advice? Sounds like this firm has fallen apart. Everybody is left. I see former. Man, I hope you do better than these guys. Jesus Christ. Eesh. I don't know if you guys can see this. This guy quit. This guy quit. This guy quit. Does this guy work here? This guy was, oh man. That background. I mean, this looks like a fund that failed. Everybody quit. There's no current employees anymore. We're all the workers. There's only one guy left. Man, don't make me keep doing this. Hey, you should have helped them with their returns. When you worked there, they had a $40 million fund, bruh. Did they have better risk management than me? What do you think? Let's see, man. So he went from 50. Let's go back to 18. Okay. He had 250, then 230, then 130. Man, what happened? Where was the risk management? Then 125. You got great pedigree. I worked for some funds that made money. Then 44, then 44, then 53, little uptick there, and then 48. And then they stopped. They stopped breathing. Ah, yes, I'm sure. They moved to domicile and they have no more employees left. You still have to file you still have to file a 13F. Doesn't matter where your domicile is. These huge positions. Man, they got a $570,000 position in RIG. $200,000 position in Seadrill. Biggest position at the firm was $6 million. They moved the domicile where? Let me guess, to Dubai or to India? The guy's not even on his Bloomberg. This was the time you were there. 17 to 19. The fund went from 250 to 40. That's the exact time they stopped filing 13F. You're a bad luck charm. No, I don't see him on Bloomberg either. The guy is a guy with the same name at a real fund in Chicago, but not him. How'd you end up going from Goldman Bangalore to this failing hedge fund anyway? And let me guess, you had a visa or something. They couldn't renew it because the fund was failing, so you head off to Dubai where you become a consultant. What happened here at Bain? Why'd you leave Bain? Oh, don't worry, I'll find out. Don't worry, I'll find out. I'll get the... How do you go from 250 million to 50 million? What does that mean? What does that change domicile mean? It's changing the fact you don't have to file anymore because you have no money left. Changing domicile? What domicile? There's no employees on Bloomberg. The 13F goes from a lot to a little. There's no new 13Fs. I know hedge funds. Changing domicile doesn't do anything. He's still in Chicago. What domicile change? Did he move countries? Did he go to Bangalore? Let me check. His number's in 312. Chicago based. LLC. Did you change domiciles? He's no longer under the auspices of the SEC? I mean, you tell me, but I'm pretty sure you still have to file. If you're based in Chicago, you still have to file. I don't see any new filings for their name. No. Offshore funds have to file in the US too, buddy. You don't get exempt from 13F filings just because you're offshore. Otherwise, every fund wouldn't file a 13F. Almost all these funds are offshore. That's not changing domiciles. They maybe lied to you. Maybe they lied to you. But that's not how that works, pal. No, I know a lot about hedge funds. I worked in the field for a long time.
You're based in that city. You cannot change your domicile. It doesn't work that way. Clearly, this fund just failed. I mean, there's a huge amount of evidence of that. The AUM dropping like a rock, the 13F filings, the fact there's 3 people that work here. Did they grow? Did they get bigger? Why are there no employees listed? A 3-employee company. You got 1 PM and 1 analyst. Well, where'd they change the fund domicile to then? The management company is an LLC. It's governed by the SEC. They have to file in the US. That's called the management company. It doesn't matter where the fund is. Basic rules. They have an investor login here. I like this, Chicago office. And how many offices are there? I love this, 11 to 50 employees, recent hires. Let me check this out. 8 total employees. We got a guy who's a freshman at Duke. Okay. Baseball player. This is a successful firm. Baseball player at Sheffield Asset Management. This guy's a student. These are the 2 other employees. This guy's a freshman. Oh, this is his son. It's a nice little family operation. It's a real fund, dude. No, it isn't. Not with that. They don't even file a 13F. Where's the 13F if it's a real fund? I don't know. Name a single fund that doesn't file a 13F. How can it be a real fund if it doesn't file a 13F? It's under 150 million AUM, so it's exempt from filing a 13F. That's why. It's not a jurisdiction thing. It's got 3 employees. That's a real fund? And no 13Fs. No Bloomberg employees. That's a real fund? What does my baby have to do with anything? What, were you friends with them or something? What difference does it make? Yeah, well, that's 500. At least you have to file 13F. TCI runs 50 billion with 10 guys. It's not about the number of people, but 3 people? How many hedge funds do you know with 3 people? I might give my kid an internship too someday, so? The point is it's got a 3 employee place. It's not 250 to 50. It's 250 to below the threshold for reporting. Nobody knows how much capital they have. They may have no capital now. So I went from Goldman Sachs Bangalore to no-name capital management that failed, but you want to lecture me. I'm giving you one last chance for clemency. I'm going to give you clemency because I'm such a nice guy. You get one last chance. Choose wisely. You want clemency? Giving you one last chance. All right, you don't want it. That's fine. No problem. Like I said, it is what it is. No clemency. That's all right. I mean, if you want to go to my Discord, we can chat. For sure. Does the phones work from where you're at? No clemency. That's cool. That's all right. There's no way you guys want to hear this guy. There's the Discord link if you want to jump in and chat. But I gave you a chance, man. I gave you a chance for clemency. This is why you couldn't cut it. You're imagining something that didn't happen. Did not double down and make money back that way. Did not double down and make money back that way. Did not double down and make money that way. Did not. The one position you think that maybe I doubled down and made money on, which isn't even true, here would be another one. So of all my P&L, 5% may be attributable to this strategy that you say. I made money on Sarepta. What are you talking about? Pure profit. I'm okay with doubling down and being wrong. This was a pure profit short, pure profit long momentum. Not every position I do is the same. Yeah, I'm right on those. I'm going to be right on them. I'm willing to invest and wait. I doubled down on the quantum trades. I kept shorting them. I'm still short. I'm not going anywhere. I think I'm ashamed of being down because quantum is in a bubble. You've never worked at a real hedge fund. Doubled down and persevered. But what's funny about Sarepta is I didn't make money on the double down. I actually capitulated. I made money because it had a huge spike up. I capitulated my huge position. I just made money because of a huge spike up on a smaller position. No, I'm comfortable where I'm at in quantum. My biggest positions are not even quantum related, which is hilarious. So which one is the problem? Pure profit short. So this, I didn't fight like you said I did, right? Does anybody remember Kohl's? I just shorted, it went down immediately. ABVX, I just went long, it went up immediately. INMB went short, it crashed. That's where all my profits are from. Not all my positions are in the green. Maybe yours are, but I'm willing to wait on this. I'm willing to wait on this, and I'm willing to wait on that. So your problem is one time I double down on a stock and it went up. This is my true P&L. The number's on the screen. You just can't believe this. I did add cash because there's no margin on Schwab. I add cash because you can't concentrate a position on Schwab. They give you zero leverage. It's like negative leverage. I don't know what he's done with his portfolio. That's up to him. I think his big thing is he's ignoring that I had this massive win with this stock. Well, you could look at it either way. I mean, if you really want to insist on adding the other capital, then I'm up 15 instead of 25. It's not the way I think of it, but it's up to you. It doesn't make a difference to me. It's all there in black and white. Now you're quibbling on something totally different. This 𝗧𝗵𝗲's not in this account. Yeah, you missed some of my biggest moves. You missed INMB, you missed AbiVax, you missed Coles, you probably missed 𝗏𝗡𝗚. I'm not happy about Quantum, but no trader is right all the time. So you seem to think my strategy is to double down and wait. But I'm showing you that's not what happened at all with my portfolio. Now you're quiet. I exit like 𝗍𝗏. I just took the loss. I didn't double down. I just got out. This was a profit right away. This was a profit right away. ATYR was a profit right away. Here's one where I'm waiting. Waiting doesn't mean that you're doubling down. You can just wait. There's one time I doubled down and ended up making money. Yeah, I mean, he has a mental block where he thinks doubling down is an awful idea. And sometimes it is an awful idea, but it depends on how you execute it. This guy just heard this one time from some guy at Wall Street where he barely had a junior analyst job at a failing hedge fund. Coles went up on, this was a short-term trade for me. Coles went up from a Wall Street Bets thing. Yeah, there you go, Blanco. Yeah, I shorted it and covered it very quickly. Well, I'm sure he thinks Michael Burry's an idiot too. There are some times to violate that trading rule of doubling down. And if you can never stomach negative performance, stop yourself out. Your clients don't ever want to see a drawdown. That's fine. But many funds, great funds, have had drawdowns. Yeah, I just don't understand how if I do something and, I'm comfortable with what I'm doing, nobody cares what you think. If you don't like it, don't do it. Some people like to take swings with big swings and are willing to do a big drawdown. Most people do. You're just a bizarre guy. Actually, this is really irresponsible investing. Who are you, my mom? My Indian mom? Captain Hindsight. You shouldn't have shorted Quantum in the middle of a huge bubble. Next time there's a huge bubble, avoid shorting stocks right before they go up a lot. You should buy them instead. Well, thank you. I mean, that's the sort of other point here is like, Quantum has lost me a ton of money. It's so insulting to be like, oh, you shouldn't have lost that money. Like, thanks for the after trading. It's not allowed. You can't do that with your money. Actually, huge problem here. I don't like this at all. Stop.